Candy is amazing, and I wanted to talk about candy. How does this relate to video games or retro media?
I don't know.
Why am I doing this?
Because I can.
The candy I have gotten will be split into the categories of hard, chocolate, gummy, gimmick, and other, in that order. Some of these might fit into multiple categories, but I put them in the category I thought fit best. First up, strawberry bonbons. These are one of those hard candies that you find in a bowl at your grandma's.
And they're great.
These are also one of those candies that's a generic name. Nobody owns the rights to the name and design of the strawberry bonbon. This is for a reason. These aren't just old people candies, they're old candies. To a point where we don't even know who or when these things were invented. They were invented somewhere in the mid-1800s and just another variation of French-style drop candies. These things are not only delicious, but cute. They have these little strawberry-themed wrappers and are flavored like... strawberry.
If you guessed anything else, you're a disappointment.
They're hard on the outside, but have a soft inside. You can suck on them for a while, or just chew them.
I personally go the second route often.
While the Jolly Rancher Company has been around since 1949, founded by Dorothy and Bill Harmson and originally selling ice cream, the iconic candy wasn't created until the 50s. Decades later, the Hershey's Company bought them in 1996.
Because Hershey's has to own all the candy.
Jolly Ranchers are probably the most iconic hard candy. If you mention hard candy, I immediately think of that fruit-flavored sticky cylinder. But not cough drops. Yeah, all I could find were the sugar-free aspartame-free variant, made for people who don't want sugar but can't have aspartame. They're designed more like a cough drop than a normal Jolly Rancher. They taste the same, they crunch the same, but they look like they'll cure my sore throat. In this pack, we get a few of the standard flavors, watermelon, green apple, and raspberry, and they all taste like artificial fruit.
That is not green apple, but it tastes good.
If you want a truly sour hard candy, you gotta go to Lemon Heads. Lemon Heads were created by the Ferrara Candy Company in 1962. While you will probably only see lemon heads out in the wild, you can also find grape, cherry, apple, and orange heads. These little guys are obviously lemony, and in my opinion are really sour. Not crazy sour like, say, Toxic Waste, but still a lot. To me, they are so sour they almost become bitter for a bit, but don't cross that line. This is definitely a candy that somebody might bring to school and then challenge another kid to eat a bunch.
Bro, have like 10 at once. Bet! Shoot.
Almond Joys actually have a bit of a history with switching companies. Contrary to what I always believed, its no-almond variant Mounds came out first. The Peter Paul Candy Manufacturing Company is the first part of all this. The company was founded by Peter Paul Halasian, Max Friedman, and 4 other immigrants to the US in 1919. The Peter Candy Company got the Mounds candy from Vincent Nitito in 1929. The Dreams Bar was created in 1934, which was just a mound, but diced almonds were mixed in with the coconut. In 1946, the Almond Joy came out to replace it, the Almond Joy just being a mound with an almond on top. The Paul Candy Company and Cadbury Schweppes merged in 1978. Then finally, in 1988, the Hershey's Company bought the US rights to selling the candy.
Because Hershey's has to own all the candy.
It's a simple yet delightful candy. Coconut, almond, chocolate, in that order. I don't usually like nuts in my mouth.
I've got to think before I speak.
I don't usually like nuts in my sweets, but Almond Joy is one of those exceptions. In all, a good little thing to eat. The Milky Way is my favorite chocolate bar of all time. To get one thing out of the way, we are talking about the US and Mexican version. The one sold everywhere else is a bit different. The difference boils down to the US and Mexico Milky Way is the Mars bar everywhere else. The US and Canada Three Musketeers is the Milky Way everywhere else. This Milky Way was fully released nationwide in the US in 1924 by Mars Incorporated and has been loved by many, including me, ever since. It's soft nougat topped with caramel and coated in chocolate. This is another one of those that I don't have much to say about since it kinda speaks for itself. Cookies and Cream Hershey's are a variant of the Hershey's chocolate bar. While the Hershey's chocolate bar has been around for a long time, the Cookies and Cream variant came out in 1994. It's white cream flavored candy in the shape of the standard chocolate bar with cookie bits visible at the bottom. It's really freaking good. Theoretically, it would be possible to make s'mores with this, but I don't know how that would turn out, and don't have the marshmallows or graham crackers to find out. Trolli Sour Bright Crawlers are a very popular gummy worm, especially where I am. I very often see someone eating a bag. Like, very often. I think there's a Trolli Sour Bright Crawlers cult. Trolli as a brand has also switched owners a lot. The US rights to Trolli got bought by Favorite Brands in 1996, bought by Nabisco in 1999, Kraft Foods in 2000, Wrigley's in 2005, then Farley and Sothers Candy Company in 2006. The Farleys merged with the Ferrara Candy Company in 2013. Here we have 3 types of worm, all dual flavored: cherry lemon, strawberry grape, and orange lime, all sour.
Really?
Even though they are called bright crawlers, they do not glow in the dark, although if they did, I think that would be concerning.
Want some?
The Sweet Tart candy line has more candies than you would think. They have Sweet Tarts, Sweet Tart Chewies, Sweet Tart Mini Chewies, Sweet Tart Ropes, Sweet Tart Rope Bites, and for Valentine's Day, they have Sweet Tart Hearts, similar to the Sweet Hearts candy. Sweet Tarts are made by Sunline, which is a division of the Sunmark of St. Louis Company Group, which is owned by Roundtree Macintosh, which is owned by Nestle.
Because they've got to own all the candy that Hershey doesn't own.
These ropes are really good. They are a fruity gummy rope filled with white cream. Here I have the tangy strawberry flavor, but there are others. It was a sad day when the local movie theater stopped stocking these. Swedish Fish.
Where? Oh.
Might just be the best gummy ever. That opinion is mostly based on taste, but there is a nostalgic factor to these things. As a little kid, I would get a small packet of Swedish Fish whenever we went to IKEA to reward me for not being a maniac. Like how I would get a small carton of Goldfish crackers whenever we went to Target for the same reason.
I'm starting to notice a pattern of fish-based bribes in my childhood.
Swedish Fish were first released in 1957 by Malico, a Swedish company. They apparently have multiple flavors, but I've only ever seen the red ones in real life. I have seen Swedish Fish and Friends, but the other sea creatures all have a more normal gummy texture different from the normal fish. And they taste bad in my opinion. But in terms of the normal original Swedish Fish, they have a unique texture and taste that can only be described as Swedish Fish. These are high in sugar, but I'll still eat an entire standard size bag.
Which is... How am I not dead?
Novelty candy. Is your candy kinda good but not great? Put a cheap plastic toy in it. The Kinder Joy is the US version of the Kinder Surprise Egg. Since having the toy in the chocolate egg is deemed a massive choking hazard in the US, Kinder had to make the Kinder Joy. It is available in other countries, but it's all we've got. The Kinder Joy, made by the Ferrero Company, released years apart in different regions. It first started being sold in Italy in 2001, Spain 2004, Germany 2006, India and China in 2007, and it finally came to the US and Australia in 2018. The Kinder Surprise got banned in the US in 1997, so it took 21 years to get a replacement. You couldn't even import the stupid eggs. They are considered illegal contraband in the US in the same way as illegal drugs. They've got Kinder Surprise eggs! Get them!
Ah! Run!
It's still in an egg shape, but the toy is separated from the chocolate through foil, and the chocolate is in pudding form with 2 cocoa balls. This is a decent substitution, but come on, man. The pudding and cocoa balls are pretty nice, but my favorite part is actually the toy. Most of them are actually pretty creative and fun. I actually keep these things around as long as possible until I misplace them. Unlike McDonald's toys, which usually get chucked in the junk pile after a day. Here I got a car that can be tall. You apparently can even scan your toy to bring it to life through the magic of AR, and the app is actually kinda good? You make a character, then you can play various simple games and see the digital versions of the toys you get. A similar concept is the Yowie Chocolate Surprise Egg. It's a monster-shaped chocolate egg with a toy inside. How is this legal but not the Kinder Egg?
Well, from my understanding, Yowie had the crazy idea to make the toy pod too big to swallow. Crazy idea, I know.
The Yowie candy first released in 1995 in Australia, being made by Cadbury. It stopped being made for a while, but got a relaunch in the US in 2014, now under the Yowie Group's ownership. Even though it's based off an Australian myth and was an Australian thing first, it didn't get back to them until 2017. Just a real screw you, Dad moment. I got a finless porpoise, apparently named after their lack of a dorsal fin. All the monsters have funny names: Rumble, Diddy, Squish, Nap, Boof, and Craig? The chocolate isn't half bad, but the toy's definitely the best part. These things are notorious for being cracked and crumbling easy because of the fragile chocolate, but I apparently got the first not crumbled one in history. Juicy Drop Pop is a very iconic gimmick candy, owned by Bazooka Candy Brands. There is a normal lollipop, I got Wild Cherry Berry, that you can put sour juice on to make it sour. They even carve out a little slit to put the sour juice in. I usually get tired of the steady sour drip and just squirt it straight into my mouth. The Juicy Drop line of candy has pops, gummies, gum, Dippin' Sticks, and taffy. Speaking of the taffy, here it is! I was originally going to get the gummies, but they were out. This one is Knockout Punch. It uses a pen since each taffy is individually wrapped. It's honestly the least gimmicky out of all the Juicy Drop candies. It's just goo on taffy. The taffy is normally shaped too. They stick to my teeth a lot. The Ring Pop is a true classic. You can suck on it all day and it lasts so long. The Ring Pop was created by Frank Richards in 1979 and is currently produced by Bazooka. They usually come individually, but you can get these 4-packs. I got 2 cherries, a strawberry, and a watermelon. I decided to go with cherry. It's simple, jewel-shaped candy on a ring you wear and suck. I also learned these are weirdly low in sugar. They only have 5 grams a pop, and for a candy that lasts so long, that's really good. Fun Dip was a popular choice to hand out on Valentine's Day when I was in elementary school. It's been around since the 40s and was originally called Lick-O-Maid, which is still on the packaging above the words Fun Dip. It was originally made by Fruzola, then Sunline Inc., then Nestle, and finally Ferrera since 2018. Fun Dip consists of 2 parts, pixie sticks like powder and a flavorless chalk candy stick. You lick the stick and dip it in the powder.
This is not a sharing candy.
In this pack, there are 2 flavors, Raz Apple Magic Dip and Cherry Yum Diddly Dip. I went with cherry. I almost always eat the candy as intended for a few minutes, then eat the stick and dump the powder in my mouth. There are those candies that don't really fit into any category. Are they gummy? Are they hard candy?
I don't know.
Skittles are one of those candies. I was originally going to lump them in with hard candies, but that didn't feel right, so they're here. Skittles has been owned by Wrigley, a division of Mars, since 2008. If you don't know what Skittles are...
How?
Skittles are flavored candy with a hard color-coded shell on the outside. The flavors consist of strawberry, orange, lime, lemon, and grape. For a while there, lime was replaced with green apple. This decision was hated for years until Skittles put lime back. I actually liked green apple more, though. Boo! My candy opinions are only going to get worse from here. For example, I like black licorice. What the f*** is wrong with you? Licorice was first invented in 1614 by Sir George Savile, with the Dunhill Company making it sweeter with sugar in 1760. It's hard to describe the taste. It's bittersweet, but not in the same way as dark chocolate, and similar to the flavor of Swedish fish being Swedish fish, the flavor of black licorice is black licorice. It does pay to like black licorice though. Anybody gets jelly beans, the black licorice flavor goes straight to you. And for the final candy, which is also universally hated and loved by me, circus peanuts. You're sick in the head! Circus peanuts were created in the 1800s and have been hated by many for over a century. They are orange marshmallow peanuts flavored like banana. But I have to disagree with that. 1, this is not marshmallow. There is no marsh. It's all mallow. 2, this is not banana. Not even artificial banana. It tastes like circus peanut. I remember giving some to some classmates in gym class, and if I remember correctly, one was indifferent, one kinda liked it but not really, and one presumably felt like he tasted the pure concept of evil cooked by Satan himself. And that kid was right!